She'd been recommended by a friend in Annapolis, whose mother she'd cared for during rehab. Preston interviewed her in the kitchen, noting the way she spoke directly to Sophie instead of around her. Most applicants addressed Sophie like she was made of glass. Marvina didn't. She asked her what she liked to do, what she hated, and whether she preferred pancakes or waffles. By the end of that week, Sophie was telling Preston she liked Miss Holt because she didn't act like a doctor or a babysitter. Preston didn't expect much. He'd hired people before who started off strong but eventually faded into the same routine. Help with meals, tidy the house, make sure Sophie was safe. But he noticed little things. How Sophie's laughter was louder on the days Marvina worked. How she spent more time upright in her chair, sketching at the kitchen island instead of curled up in the corner of the couch. Still, he didn't think much of it. His guard was too high, his hope too fragile. But in the background, without his knowing, something had shifted. Because Marvina wasn't just keeping Sophie company. She was watching, noticing, and quietly planning something that no doctor had managed in 10 long years. Marvina Holt's arrival wasn't marked by any grand introduction. She came on a Wednesday morning, a duffel bag slung over one shoulder, wearing a navy windbreaker and the kind of practical shoes that said she didn't care about fashion shows. She cared about getting through the day without her feet aching. Preston had been expecting someone different, maybe older, with a more formal demeanor. Instead, Marvina was 34, her voice warm but direct, and she carried herself with a quiet self-assurance. Sophie was in her wheelchair by the bay window when Preston brought Marvina into the living room. Sunlight filtered through sheer curtains, catching the silver in the girl's hair clip. "This is my daughter, Sophie," Preston said. Marvina crouched down, not stiffly like someone fulfilling a polite obligation, but naturally like she was meeting an equal. "Hey there, Sophie. Your dad tells me you like to draw." Sophie hesitated, looking at Preston first. "I guess." "You guess?" Marvina tilted her head, smiling just enough to make it inviting. "Well, I've been told guessing means you're not sure, so maybe you just haven't had someone really look at your work yet." Sophie's eyes flickered, curiosity tugging at her usual guardedness. Preston saw it and was mildly impressed. They spent the rest of the morning together while Preston worked from his home office. Every so often, he'd catch snippets of conversation floating down the hall. Marvina asking Sophie to describe the places she drew, Sophie explaining that she liked sketching buildings because they don't move away from you. That line stuck with him. Over the next week, Marvina slipped seamlessly into the household rhythm. She cooked simple meals, but made them in ways that filled the kitchen with comforting smells. Chicken and rice with rosemary, cornbread muffins that Sophie devoured without prompting. She didn't hover over Sophie, but never left her isolated either.